I'm creating this recipe for homemade pasta dough, whole wheat. This is 100% whole wheat. I've taken 1 cup, around 110 grams. I'll use 1 egg for this. You can use milk instead if you are looking for eggless, and use some pinch of salt and some extra virgin olive oil. You can use regular oil, canola oil, or peanut oil as well, but not mustard oil or any strong oil that gives its own flavor. I'll just knead all of them together to a soft dough, not tacky, but yeah, but in the soft dough. Now I've put the oil and salt, a bit of salt. You can put some flavoring like spinach or oregano or garlic, anything that you want at this stage, so that you get the flavor in the pasta. But since I'll put it with a strong tomato sauce, so I'm not putting any flavor right now. I'll just knead this. I have kept the dough a bit tight. After it all came together, I kept on kneading it for 5-6 minutes so that the gluten can develop out here. It has to be a bit dry so that you don't have to use much dry flour while we cut it in any shape in pasta. So I'll let it rest for like 10 minutes and then we'll proceed with cutting it, as well as the sauce part as well, the tomato sauce. In the meantime, I'll make the base, the tomato sauce. You need red plum tomatoes for this, and in the sauce as additional flavoring, I'll be putting some fresh basil leaves, some mint leaves, and a bit of green chili. Green chili is optional. You can put it some other things as well, because in the blender I've put some white sugar and some black pepper, crushed black pepper. Now I'll put all these components in this blender and blend it to get a smooth sauce. Here is the sauce that I have blended. It's a bit on the darker side because I have used a lot of mint and basil leaves. You can keep it just tomato as well if you need red sauce. Now regards vegetables that I'll be using some scallion, lower base onion, then the green of the onion, and yellow bell peppers, red bell peppers, some beans, some garlic that I'll put in the end, some carrots and basil leaves, and a bit of green chili. So this I'll cut and put in, use as a vegetable for this pasta. Now I have portioned the dough according to the size where I'll make it flat. I'm not using a machine, so I'll make it ultra thin till it is no more manageable, and then I'll keep it to rest. So I'll start by using the rolling pin and try to make it thin. Now I have rolled it to the thinness I can. It should be easy to handle, so I'm not going any further. It is almost like I think around 12 inches now. It's very thin. I like it this way, so I'll put it to rest for 10 minutes so that the surface is a bit dry, like 10%, not less than that, not more than that, sorry. And then it will be easy to cut by knife, else it will start sticking. So I'll similarly roll the other dough part as well. Now I have cut all the vegetables and I'll saute at very high temperature only the beans and the capsicum, so that it is partially cooked and gets a crust at the top. I have to roast it basically to get that additional flavor. I'm heating a wok with some olive oil, very few, like just 1 teaspoon, and now I'll put the beans. The wok needs to be really high. I'll saute this only for maybe 5 minutes. I'll just put a pinch of salt to this. Now it's almost done. I don't want to lose the nutrition and also don't want to lose the color. So a bit of black charring is happening on the surface. and I'll close this at this moment and start cooking the sauce that I had blended 10 minutes ago. Now the pasta has rested and I have started cutting it. One way is to roll it like this and then cut it with a sharp knife, and when you open it, it happens like this. So that is an easier way. The dough doesn't need to be sticky. You need to put flour in case it is sticking, and then later you can brush off the flour from the pasta. Other is you can just put a straight scale and just start cutting as per the size you want. It's very easy. As per, if you have a pasta cutter, you can use that as well. One way is to use a scale, as I said, and you can start cutting it along the margins, and the width you can decide as per your own requirements. So this is also an easier way. This requires less flour. I've separated the pasta, and now I'll put the boiling water with salt and oil in it so that I can start working on it. I have to rest this cut after cutting for 5 minutes, so the results come out really good. You can see here the water is boiling with a lot of salt and uh, oil. Now I'll start putting the pasta in it. I have to put the separate stand so that it doesn't stick together, and slowly so that the temperature of the water doesn't drop too much at one go. And you should have a good pair of tongs to keep on moving it. You don't have to leave it like this. So if you have a tong, you keep on moving like this. Secret to good pasta is this water has to be too hot, and the salt also has to be there, a lot of salt. And since this is freshly made, it will take more than the packed ones, and you can't leave it al dente, a bit uncooked. You have to cook it thoroughly, so you need some time. So you have to sit here and keep on moving it so that it's done. In total, for around 150 grams of flour, I think max time you need to cook this is for like 6 to 8 minutes. You can keep on checking it, and you don't need to let it stick. In the parallel gas, you have to keep on cooking the sauce, so that you can just put the pasta directly to this after taking it out. If you keep it for too long, it will stick. If you want to store it, then you can put it some oil and then deep freeze it, and then later thaw it and then use it. So you can see these are very separate stands still. Since it has egg, as I told you, there will be a taste of egg, so you need to cook it properly. If you put this in the cold water, it won't be good, so you have to start it with a hot water. It has to be boiling already. To handle it clearly, carefully, else they will break. You can keep the size of the pasta as per your own wish. If you want to make different shapes, that's totally good. It looks great. You can even mix 2-3 colors. One dough you can make with some green color like palak saag alag. The other one you can make with beetroot or carrot or something, and then accordingly you can make 3-colored, tri-colored pasta or any other color that you want. So now I'll start putting, I think it's done, so I'll just start putting it in the wok directly and transfer all. So now the pasta is fully coated with the sauce. You can keep it a bit liquidy if you want, but I have just made it a bit tight. And now I'll put all the vegetables, roasted vegetables that I had done earlier. Five minutes of sauteing in low flame, it's almost done. Now I'll put in some hand-torn fresh basil leaves in this, and some green onion toppings as well. And now I'll close the flame, and then put in the garlic that I had done earlier so that I get a strong garlic flavor. Now I've powered off the flame, and now it's ready for eating. So it's very yummy delicious, I can tell you. You can see the separate pasta stands, they're not sticking to each other, and the vegetables are also a bit raw, so they will give the nutrition. And all the sauce has taken on the pasta strands, so it's uniformly distributed, so you'll get the flavor in each strand of pasta, each bite. This is much more healthier and fresher than the one that you get from market, because like a canned vegetable or a canned fruit, if you take it and take a fresh fruit, then you see the difference. Similarly in pasta, but it's a bit effort taking, but once you are used to it, it will taste much better, and you can control the ingredients in it. And since this is whole wheat, so it's very flavorful and healthy also, and you are not using the refined flour or any preservatives in the sauce or anything. Everything is homemade, so it's very healthy. And I have been doing this for the last 5 years, so I guess everybody has liked it in my home and wherever I make it. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. You can just top it up with a bit of butter if you want, or some sauce if you require, but it's absolutely perfect. No requirement. Thank you so much.